you're looking for the pulse of Tampa Bay sports, Beckles and Recher is the #1 source. The new guard, raising up the bar. Intelligent sports talk in your own backyard. Ain't no competition, ask the fans why. Beckles and Recher got it by a landslide. Don't fret, microphone check, stand by. Yo, Bucs, where they at? Who my two favorite guys? Here they go. 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 Here they go.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Beckles and Recher on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful week. How about you, brother? You good?
It was good. Started off really nice over at Aloft in Midtown.
Aloft was a nice setting. The game was not a good game to watch in general.
No.
You know what's funny? It's just we were watching it together, and at one point I go, it could be 28-0.
Yeah.
And it was only like 10 or something, and I'm like, they're in this, but at no time did I feel offensively they caught themselves.
No.
At no time.
You needed to poop on yourself once in a while.
It was
right?
inevitable.
Yep.
It was inevitable with all those injuries. And listen, Mike Evans going down and seeing a Warrior laying on the ground, if you don't think that affects the team, you're crazy.
Right.
Okay, and you're crazy. And Mike Evans not being in that locker room, if you don't think that affects the team, you're crazy. Because all those other guys, including Chris Godwin, grew up watching Mike Evans. And that's a big deal. So a big ups to Mike. I've never, from this standpoint, said anything negative about Mike Evans, I don't think. There's nothing he's ever done that I disliked.
Shout out to Benny, Eddie, and Janet Best tuning in here on YouTube. Make sure you share this on all your social media platforms. But you're right, and I said this on my podcast today, is like, I think people on the outside, they look at professional athletes, oh, you make millions of dollars, you should be able to get through stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you guys are human beings, and that's one of your guys that you've been riding with for so long. And for him to go, it wasn't like he pulled his hamstring again. I think that's the thing. It's not just that he got hurt. Yeah. It's how he got hurt and how he reacted to getting hurt that just, it made you go, damn, bro, I don't know how many he can, I don't know what that means. I mean, because there's a realistic possibility that's the last time we've seen Mike Evans in a Buccaneer uniform.
Well, I mean, I was saying that on Monday. I'm still saying that. As somebody who's done that, when I mean done that, has played, just to end something is way harder than you think, okay? I'm just telling everybody, I played football from the age 7 into my 30s. So to just stop doing it was very, very hard. Still thinking you can do it. Mike Evans, as a competitor, and I know he's the utmost competitor, he's not going to want that to be the last thing, but you have to start making some decisions for your future, and it ain't got nothing to do with the broken clavicle. It had to do with a Tua-type concussion. And I know Troy Aikman and Joe Buck didn't say concussion. I know the Bucs didn't say concussion. I know the trainers didn't say concussion, or Mike didn't say concussion.
Yeah.
I'm saying concussion. The NFL guaranteed tells everybody, do not say that word. But I'm saying that was scary yesterday, because if you have a broken clavicle, you don't lay still on the ground for 2 minutes. No way.
And speaking of that, it's kind of ironic that you said it in the way that you said it. Big announcement at 2 o'clock today. You're not a big soccer fan, but I would venture to say that your deepest soccer fandom came when you and I were doing the show together.
No doubt about that.
And the greatest player in the modern history of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Leo Fernandez, who we met, MVP of the league in 2021, just announced his retirement at 2 o'clock today.
Okay.
And he tore his Achilles the year after. Yeah. He's been battling, and he's just been dealing with calf injuries ever since.
That's
and,
not nice.
You know, he's at a point where he just, again, announced it at 2 o'clock. He's going to join me on my show tomorrow at 12:10.
It ain't easy, though.
Nah, man, but you can tell, like, he's 13-year professional career. Yeah. He's in his 30s. He's married with 2 kids. And again, he's one of the guys that you and I interviewed when we went to, they honored us on the field at halftime.
Yep.
And Leo is one of those guys that's just like, bro, if you win the MVP of the league, regardless of the league, like, you were that guy. And
a professional sports league? You MVP. Well, you can't tell me nothing.
No, and every year I do my at the end of the year I do Jay Recher's top 20 stars of Tampa Bay. I've done it for like 7 years now. The only member of the Rowdies to make it in the 7 years was Leo, and I think he came in like 17th because he was the MVP of the league. And we know where the Rowdies rank compared to the other sports in this town. We understand that, but the fact that enough media members had him in the top 20 means a lot. So
Jeff Attinella didn't make it?
No, but he's
that's my
but you talk about two of the guys in the last 20, 30 years. It's Jeff Attinella who backstopped the team to their second championship, and Leo Fernandez who won their only MVP.
But I'm gonna be as honest as I can, Jay, to you. If I had never met you, I would never have
Probably not.
I would never have heard of either of those two guys.
Right.
Never. But maybe Jeff Adinella, because maybe when it come across
Smack
radio.
Apparel. Yeah.
But like just my people, I don't ever hear any soccer. Never.
Yeah,
like
no.
any. I'll be honest. I don't really hear any baseball. And I'm not around it anymore. Okay, I'm in a kava bar or I'm around town. You still hear Bucs everywhere.
Yeah.
You still hear Lightning everywhere. I haven't heard anybody talk about the Rays or the Rowdies in years. And that's me, because I'm not in that circle. So, hopefully everything works out with the new leadership
owners,
with the Rays. Hopefully.
Now, we were talking about Mike Evans and the injury, and I was very somber yesterday on my podcast. Not because they lost, but just the Evans injury. Just held a pall over me when I can't even look back at that game and really say what's wrong, because the Mike injury stood out so much.
Sure.
Now that a day's gone by, I feel a little bit better. But where do you stand when it comes to this team? Is it an overreaction to think they're not as good as they once were? Do you think this was kind of like standard? They were bound to kind of run into something like this? Where are you at now compared to last Wednesday when you're looking at the Bucs?
I'm in the same place.
Same place?
I'm a funny person when it comes to sports and I guess assessing talent.
Yeah.
Because you know what doesn't matter?
You don't get swayed or easily.
You know what doesn't matter, Jay? 2 weeks ago. But it mattered 2 weeks ago. You know what doesn't matter? 4 weeks ago. But it did 4 weeks ago.
Let me ask you a question. We'll get back to the Bucs, but I want to ask you this question.
Yes.
Because I feel like nobody really mentions this type of thing when you're talking about sports. Florida's had a terrible year.
No doubt.
They fired Billy Napier.
Yeah.
But USF going into the Swamp in week 2 and winning that game, still an impressive victory to me.
No doubt.
Because what people forget when it comes to pro football, but probably even more college, because the variable is 18 to 23-year-old kids, is that you could be a totally different team in week 2 than you are in week 9. But it doesn't mean what happened in week 2 doesn't matter.
Sure.
When you're assessing the entire year, okay, I can understand you thinking a team is not good at the end. But just because Florida is doing what they're doing and fired, it doesn't mean that win for USF was less impressive. Because at that time, they're one of the better teams in the country, and it's the first time you ever won there.
Well, he lost his job partially because he lost to USF. And the difference between college football and the NFL is the NFL's on a completely even playing field. College is not. Okay, you can't, at the end of the year, you can't tell me that USF is going to get the same amount of, 4 and 5 star athletes as Florida. It's not an even playing field. Indiana wasn't on an even playing field. They're starting to get on it now. It's not easy to get up there, yo. And listen, I don't know if USF can get up there and stay. I think they can get up there and then probably fall because you're still USF. Indiana has been down forever. Now they're starting to come up. They're a Big Ten team. You could stay up if you're a Big Ten team. But if you're USF, and it's a different animal, because you're still not playing Ohio State. You're still not playing, the LSUs every single year. So it's going to be hard to get those top-notch recruits. So going into the Swamp, and any year for USF, I don't care if USF's number 1 in the nation and Florida's having a down year. If USF goes into the Swamp and wins, that's a big win.
I'm with you. And that's why things change. It's such a week-by-week basis. And now, going forward, the Buccaneers play the Saints on Sunday. What are you looking to see? Not what do you expect to see, but what are you looking for from the Buccaneers on Sunday that shows, hey, that Detroit loss is behind them and they're focused on New Orleans?
Well, this whole year, Jay, we've been asking for an identity, okay, and we still really haven't answered that question.
5-2.
No, we don't.
Still don't have it.
Because here's what's so funny about the NFL. You lose this week, all of a sudden we're going to have issues, right? Okay, so, the NFL's funny. The Saints are going to win probably 3 games this year. That means they got to beat 3 teams. And those 3 teams, their fan base is going to go bananas.
Right.
But when we talk about an identity, when I say identity, I just mean you need something that you always can fall back on. All right? It could be the quarterback. It can be the offensive line. It could be the pass rush. It could be turnovers. It could be special teams. But we don't have anything. We're kind of up, down, all over the place. And it kind of showed on Monday. Like, we let somebody run the ball down our throats. When's the last time, away or at home, we've seen that? Okay?
Oh, no, but you said last week. When's the last time somebody ran the ball down our throats? And they did.
Last Monday. I mean, they ran it down our throats, okay? And if you're out there not getting the pass rush and not making those big plays, and you're on the road against a tough team, you're going to get punched in the face. I think our defense almost played well enough to win in a weird way. After you gave up the booty a little bit, But if our offense was moving, they would have scored less points and we'd have been okay. So I don't think our defense was the biggest problem. Offensively, I thought that was by far the worst game I've seen this year.
Offensive line struggled in the big way.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Have you ever seen seen a team move their left tackle to right tackle like they did with Tristan Wirfs on a couple of plays?
I didn't know. Did they do that?
Yeah.
They moved Tristan Wirfs to right tackle?
For a couple plays to slow down Aiden Hutchinson.
So why did Aiden go on the other side?
I think they just caught him. I think they just caught him off guard.
They really did that?
Yeah. I didn't notice it at the time, but then I went back and watched.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that in a game, ever.
It's crazy, right?
It's amazing
that
he's able to do that.
It shows you how gangster Tristan Wirfs is.
Dude, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about how gangster Tristan Wirfs is. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you what, he's getting better this year. I see a little bit of mean in him. If the one thing I wanted was a little mean, and I see him, mean is coming. I like it.
Obviously, the Buccaneers at 5-2. You're gonna feel a lot better. You win this game against New Orleans.
You're 6-2. Yeah,
you're going into the bye. You're feeling a lot better about yourself.
You're 6-2. You're going to the playoffs for the most part. Okay, if you're 6-2, you can go 4-9, 4-5 on the back end, and or whatever the numbers are, and you'll figure out a way to get into the playoffs. But we've have a little bit of a cushion that we needed. Okay, because the back end of our schedule is not that hard.
No.
But after the Saints, I think we catch a couple good teams.
Yeah,
you know
play
what I mean?
Buffalo,
so
Rams.
Being 6-2, you probably give yourself
a
buffer to go 6-4. Mm-hmm. Okay, but no worse than that. So let's win this game. I think the Bucs are a better team than the Saints. But then again, there's going to be 5, upsets on Sunday and Monday that we're going to go, wow, I didn't see that coming. So crazy things happen. And the Saints always fight the Bucs.
Right.
Always.
It's a divisional thing.
Always.
And it's ironic that you said that because I watched a video yesterday of the 0-26 Bucs that the NFL film squad made up.
Okay.
And you were just mentioning about how you got to win some of those games. After the Saints were the first losers to the Buccaneers, Hank Stram got fired.
Really?
And then they beat the Cardinals at home the next week, and their coach got fired. So you lose to the Bucs, you get fired.
Yeah, I get it.
But watching that video, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Leroy Selman is the greatest Buccaneer of all time. Dude, you are on a team that lost 26 games in a row. You win an entire season, almost 2 entire seasons, and didn't win a game.
Yep.
Bro, that is crazy. And they're interviewing Leroy, and he just had the most positive attitude.
Yeah.
He was up there, and he was just saying, like, I forgot what this feeling was, blah, blah, blah. It was him. It was Dewey, his brother. It was the great Richard Batman Wood.
Yeah.
Like, going through all of that stuff. Amazing. Just Dick Crippen was involved. Jack Harris was involved. Just all the different people that they interviewed for it and how the win brought Tampa Bay together. They spoke about the almost like the segregation of Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. Like everything was all, and the Buccaneers brought all those communities together, which is wild. And then 2 or 3 years later, they're ending up a game away from the Super Bowl, which is crazy to think. They went 0-26, and then just a couple of years later, there wasn't no graduals.
Without free agency.
Without free agency.
Which is crazy.
They went straight up to the sky.
Crazy.
What kind of discussion was there about the Yucks? Did you feel any of that after effect when you were playing? Did they speak about the history a lot? Because I've been here 20 years, and I've been covering the Buccaneers for the last 11. I haven't heard some of these stories about how bad it really was. Was that something that you still had to wear 13, 14, 15 years later?
What do you mean? I mean, wear it. We were it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they didn't win before us. They didn't really win during us. So it's not like we sucked.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like you used to suck. Like the Bucs, they always have used to suck in it. But they didn't suck lately.
Right.
We sucked, and they used to suck just in the near past. So we weren't good. If we won 5 games, everybody had a parade, and they're like, next year's going to be good, and next year we win 5 games, and it wasn't good, brother. And little victories for us were a big thing. It's funny you said Leroy Selman is the best player ever, because I said the same thing, okay? And I bit my list, my top 50, and Leroy Selman was number 1. Sapp and Brooks were 2 and 3 together. Together. And Warren was here when they had the big reunion a couple weeks ago. He was here at the Dignitary Cafe. We were hanging out on Saturday morning doing what we do, or Sunday morning. And I said that to Warren. I said, well, Leroy's my number 1. He goes, I respect that. Then he says, "You ever think this?" And he started to ramble, and he was just selling himself. He was selling himself.
Right.
At the end of it, I agreed with him. Mm-hmm. He goes, "Well, how can you pick him if he doesn't have this and he doesn't have this?" And what you said, Leroy was great on bad teams, that's a negative. You see what I'm saying? Because most people, to make the Hall of Fame, got to have some success. You see what I'm saying?
But they did.
They did. They did. Ultimately.
Bro, you don't...
But Sapp brought...
Sapp
turned it around.
Man, I think Leroy turned it around more than Sapp.
No. Once again, I picked Leroy, but after Warren was breaking, he goes, he don't have my numbers, he didn't do this, he didn't have this effect, and he wasn't talking down Leroy.
You said effect. I'd argue that the effect that he had was bigger.
My problem is, I remember Leroy Selman, but I didn't watch Leroy Selman. Right. You know what I'm saying? I remember him. Like, I used to have him in my All-Pro and stuff, but I didn't ever watch the Buccaneers. I don't remember ever watching an orange football team on my screen. I'm
with you.
Because we only got the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. That's it.
Can we go here? I think Sapp was the best Buck of all time. I think Leroy was the greatest.
Stop there. Stop right there. We're good. No, I'm being honest with that. Like, on the field.
Because I don't think, and listen, Brooks, to me, has maybe the best resume out of any Buccaneer, right?
It's Brooks. It's Brooks.
Yes.
Off the field, it's Selman. On the field, it's Sapp. No, seriously.
No, you're right.
There's no doubt.
But you look at what Derrick Brooks did, incredible, right? But he's not in that conversation, I think, of best linebackers of all time. Fair, unfair, it is what it is. When you say best linebackers of all time, you're talking...
weak side linebacker, he's a top 4 guy.
Okay.
Of all time.
If I say best interior defensive lineman of all time, half the people are going to say Aaron Donald because of recency bias. A lot of people
Donald's not a bad...
but what I'm saying is that Warren Sapp's on that list.
No doubt.
Right? He's on that list. Yeah. He's in the... He's on the top floor, right? Leroy's not in there, but my impact for bro, I'm watching this, Beck, and I'm looking and I'm watching these games. Bro, they're losing 14-0 over and over and over. You know, not only is that offense not scoring, but they're also not driving the ball down the field and kicking field goals. So that means Leroy, Dewey, and they were out there for hours, and they kept those teams to 2 touchdowns. Like, that's crazy to me. And then to go from 0 wins in 76 to the freaking NFC Championship game 3 years later without free agency, bro, that's crazy.
See, I was blessed to meet and play. I played with Anthony Munoz for the preseason. I didn't get a chance to play during the regular season. He was supposed to play right tackle next to me. It would have been the biggest honor ever. Anyways, he tore his rotator cuff and he couldn't play. But I grew up an NFL fan, and I don't know if anybody even realizes how big of that. My whole life was NFL. My whole life. So I looked at Anthony, I go, man, you were my guy growing up, and I said, if a young me would ask you a question, I would say, who's the toughest player you ever played against? And he looked at me and he goes, Leroy Selman. And then I had to sit back and think of who he played against, including Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
So you're going to put Leroy Selman above Lawrence Taylor? Above Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah, you
you ever watch Lawrence Taylor film?
He's the greatest.
Oh, my God. No, he might be the best defender of all time.
He's the best football player ever, for defense or offense. Bro, he scored points. Nobody on offense is going on the other side and picking the ball off and stopping people and playing special teams. Lawrence, there's games where he accounted for the points. Bro, let me give it to you like this. Yeah. Greatness is greatness, right? If you can catch Barry Sanders and Jerry Rice both from behind as a linebacker, come on, bud. He won the MVP.
I'm not talking.
He didn't win Defensive Player of the Year.
I can't talk about
He didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. He won MVP. Yeah. Bro, will we ever see that? Will we ever see that again because of how MVP? The media is? I don't know, bro.
I don't think the media will allow it.
No.
They won't allow it because some quarterback.
Who's going to be close to Aaron Donald?
Every year, quarterback, and that's what I mean.
Who's going to be close to him?
Inside, Aaron Donald was getting 20 sacks from inside. And here's my problem.
Bro, how good do you have to be?
To get inside and get 20 sacks?
How good do you have to be a defensive MVP? Like, think about the numbers.
That's every game you got to be dominant.
You'd have to have 25 sacks, and your team would have to be
It's not just sacks either. You got to just change games. You remember J.J. Watt?
Yeah.
See, I'm just telling everybody right now, because I watched a lot of film my whole life, and Reggie White's one of the best ever. J.J. Watt was better than Reggie White. Just telling you. He was better than him. Reggie White took plays off. Reggie White, you could cut. J.J. Watt was going 110 every play all the time.
All day,
was a mismatch end, tackle, nose guard, didn't matter. And that's not talking about Reggie White, but all around, I'd rather play against Reggie White than J.J. Watt.
All right, so I brought this up on my podcast today, and I know you're going to be very happy to talk about this.
Spurs.
The Buccaneers,
Okay.
they need to trade for a defensive lineman.
All right.
And you know who they need to get? 39-year-old Calais Campbell from the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
He's got 3 sacks this year. He's second on the team in sacks.
Is he still playing?
With the Cardinals, he's playing pretty good. He's only playing about 53% of the snaps. You're not asking him to come in here and do that.
Vita comes out?
You know how much Vita plays? And I know we talked about that.
50%?
A lot more than we think.
Oh, no. I know he does.
No.
I know he does, but here's I'm telling you, Jay, this from experience, I'm telling you. I rarely played against great players that came out ever. Like, I mean,
I get it.
It's changed. Okay?
No, and the reason why I say that is because I agree with you. Because I look at him like, damn, Vita's not out there.
But he probably misses 15 snaps a game.
But when you look at it, just look at this from Vita Vea.
Yeah.
Week 1, 71%, 84%, 70, 65, 84, 72, 81.
Yep.
So he's playing about 80, 85 snaps, you would think, per game.
Sap didn't come out.
Never.
J.J. Watt didn't come out.
No.
T.J. Watt doesn't come out. Miles Garrett doesn't come out. They don't come out.
So Calais can't. Let's look at Miles Garrett to be sure, because I'm sure he comes out a little bit.
The thing is, you don't ever want to take a fiend out. Never. It's got to be something that you're scared of. It got to be something you're scared of that you're taking
Miles
him
Garrett,
out.
88% a couple weeks ago, 68 the last 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard because you don't watch the game. We don't watch them all the time, so you don't know. But it just seems like Vita comes out more than he should at times.
When he comes
right?
out, it's evident, and they're not as good when he comes.
He is.
You know, they're not as stout.
Calais Hassan Reddick's going through an MRI. We don't know what it's going to entail.
And even if he,
but even if he did,
what,
even if
what
he's
are we
okay,
losing? We're not losing that much.
No, but for Calais Campbell to be in there, you're going to trade what, a 7th round pick? And I know you got a Tej Johnson with a 7th round pick this year, but I'm looking at a guy that can be stout against the run. This is a guy that's got 3 sacks this year. He's going to play 50. He might even play more playing for the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But this is a guy that's a consummate professional. He is a pros pro, and he just was on record saying, we got to, kind of calling his team out, but in a professional way,
Sure.
And I remember a couple years ago meeting him because you've talked about him so highly. And when I got a chance to talk to him, I was like, oh, Ian, I wish you were here.
No doubt.
And I said, it was a game that Bijan didn't play. Falcons beat the Bucs at home. And he was like, this win means a lot to me. I go, why? And he goes, because I freaking love Todd Bowles. Love Todd Bowles. We had such a great time in Arizona. He means the world to me. I'm like,
wow,
dude,
really?
Bring that guy home, bro.
Todd Bowles wants him in the locker room. That's the locker room guy.
That's the kind of guy that comes in the locker room and everybody hugs him.
100%.
Nobody goes,
100%.
who's this guy? There's no adjustment periods. Like, everybody's going to go up to him, show him all the... Like, why wouldn't you do that?
You know who they do? You know who they miss? It's not a thing. It's not a production thing.
JPP?
Will Golston.
Oh, Will Golston, yeah.
Will Golston, grimy, dog.
Yep.
He's grimy. I mean, it's not even about making a tackle. It's about going in, beating up somebody, just being physical, being nasty. We don't really have that guy anymore. And if I ask you who's nasty on our defense, who are you going to say? We don't have a nasty feel on our defense, dog.
Yeah.
We really don't. And look, Vita Vea, I always seem to be this way, okay? I think Vita Vea is a good football player, but to me, he has 25% more getting better to do before I like him as a football player. Because everybody gets excited about the plays he makes. The plays he doesn't make is what eats me up. Like, greatness doesn't take time off. And sometimes I just see him getting blocked by one guy, and the greatness doesn't allow that. And I don't know if it's his motor or what, but sometimes I just don't like his play. He's going to make plays. He's 360, he moves quick. He's going to automatically make plays. But he had one really good game before the last game, and other than that, I haven't really seen him take over in a while. So I need more from Vita Vea.
Are you trying to see from Vita Vea what you were asking for Tristan Wirfs going into this year? A little bit more of the spice?
I don't know what he's missing. I don't know what Vita Vea is missing. He's missing something. Like, I see some plays, and I go, holy smokes, how would you stop that? And then the next 4 plays just getting blocked. There's got to be somewhere in between there. And I just don't see enough nasty. He should be clubbing cats, standing over dudes. Like, maybe he's too nice. I don't like nice football players in general. I really don't.
I like when people embrace the villain.
Nasty. Like, when you saw Lawrence Taylor on the sideline, we're a bunch of crazed dogs. Like, you better start taking some pills or something to get yourself there.
It's like Brad Marchand. Last night, went back to Boston after being there for a long career. Goes back as a member of the Florida Panthers, and it's one of those things where you hate that dude if he's against you, but you love him if he's on your team. And I remember here at the All-Star game back in 2018, they had a big thing of a rat, and he was there and they had his face on it, and he laughed and he posed for a picture. Bro, if you're gonna be the villain, the villain, man.
Why not?
Embrace the heel role.
Yeah, man. To me, I think I've always liked villains. Okay, I like villains and I hate villains. Okay, if I say I hate somebody as an athlete, then you know they're good at what they do.
Right.
You know who I hated? Bill Laimbeer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hate nobody's not good at what they do.
They don't boo you if you suck.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Boo me. Boo me. Because if I don't like you, it's something that you do that's pissing me off and you're doing to my team. So hate is good in sports.
Speaking of hate, there's a heavy disdain between Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. I don't know if you saw this, but
let me say this before you say it, okay? When Russell Wilson went to Denver, I said, that's not going to work.
Not even close.
Those two personalities, you know who else wouldn't work? Russell Wilson and John Gruden. It wouldn't work. Because Sean Payton comes from John Gruden, okay? John Gruden groomed him. John Gruden's about ego. He don't want nobody's ego bigger than his. Russell Wilson's ego's too big. And his persona's too big. That it wouldn't work. And I knew it wouldn't work with Sean Payton. He put the man on the bench. He wasn't playing that bad either. He wasn't playing that bad. And he put that man on the bench. I'm like, damn, dog. That's messed up. Now, it ends up being okay because Knicks is okay, but I don't know why everybody, I don't know why anybody wants Russell Wilson anymore. I don't.
But they're back in the news talking smack about each other because of what happened was Sean Payton said, we were hoping that they changed from Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart. That would have happened long after our game. He goes out and says that. And then Wilson takes to Twitter and says, classless, didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media.
I'm okay with what Russell said. I don't think Sean Payton has any right to do that. It's just not necessary. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you already dissed this guy. By you benching him, you're saying I don't like him and the way you play. And to dog him out like that so now Russell Wilson has to answer the questions, I don't ever like that. I think that's pussy shit, to be honest with you.
No, I'm with you. And you know what one of my least favorite things in sports is that when you're a part of a team that wins a championship one time, you start to act like your shit doesn't stink.
That's true.
Like, all credit to you, not taking anything away from you. You did it. But in no shape or, any rhyme or reason, no shape or, doesn't mean you get to act like a dick.
Correct.
And I feel like there's such a, I'm better than you type of feel when it comes to Sean Payton, when it comes to a lot of guys that they were successful one time.
One time.
They had one good run. They were a part of one good team. And then when they had opportunities to show that, all right, you can win in different situations, you're unable to do it. And then you have multiple events where you're kind of treating people like shit. Like, I'm a big thing of, I judge people by their character on how they treat other people.
Period.
Right? You look at when you're out with somebody and you're at a restaurant and they're treating the wait staff like crap. You kind of look down on that person a little bit. You're like, I don't really know if I want to fuck with somebody like that.
Well, Jay, it's funny you say that. We were just talking yesterday. I don't even remember what we were talking about, and I was talking about the people that I deal with and I hang around with, and we're talking about the people who were at the event at Aloft, and your name came up, and I don't even know what we were talking about. I said, I've never seen Jay not be nice to somebody. and I swear to God, it's a beautiful thing. Like, I've seen, like, you're good with the janitor, you're good with the lady that mops. I mean, you're good with and I think I'm kind of the same person.
Yeah, of course you are.
Because I really don't like the guy who cusses out a waitress.
No, man.
I don't like that guy.
No, I mean,
you know what? Go F yourself.
Yeah. That
waitress is busting her ass, and as long as she's not being an asshole, even if she messes up, who gives a shit? You're at a restaurant, you have enough money to pay for the meal, and she's busting her butt, so you're gonna cuss her out and try to get. I hate that. Okay, I just want people to be nice, and if I'm with somebody and they're doing it, I'm stopping it.
Yeah,
I'm at an age where somebody says something sexist or racist, I go, yo, whoa. Like when I was young, I used words that now make me sick. So now I hear them, I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, but
somebody's got to stop it.
But here's the thing, to piggyback on that, I think as you get older, you don't surround yourself with people
That's
like
a
that.
fact.
Right? Like,
that's a fact.
I feel like the people, like Ponzo's like that, right? Ponzo's another guy, like the people that you spend the most time with, like you share those type of qualities, right? Correct. Birds of a feather flock together.
Correct.
Right? You're judged by the company that you keep and every other cliche that you can add in there.
Yep.
So if that bothers you, it's probably going to bother the people that you hang around with.
Yeah. And listen, I just said this the other day. If somebody I hang around with is an asshole and they know they're an asshole, I'm okay with them. I'm serious. Like, as long as you're self-aware.
Yeah.
As long as you're self-aware.
I used to say that about the big dog. People were like, man, big dog, he's tough to deal with.
Pretty real, though.
But I said like this. I told people off the bat, I go, I could rock with that guy any day. They go, how?
Like,
and I go, because you know why? Because he'll tell you to your face he likes you or doesn't like you. I'll take a guy like that 7 days a week rather than somebody who's like, Jay, you're the greatest, most talented guy. And then you walk around the corner like, that guy sucks. I don't want people like that.
I'm going to compare Big Dog to somebody. I never really did because they're same and different. Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Warren Sapp and the big now.
And out of all the people you can say that to, knowing how I know both of those guys.
And listen, I never got along with Steve Dumick. Never. But whatever he was doing, well, it's pretty real.
Yeah.
He was just like, I don't like you. You don't have to like me. I'm like, cool. We won't like each other. Because, if you walk in a hallway, you remember the iHeart hallways.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm so wide, you had to almost turn sideways to get by me. We walked by each other in the hallway. I'm looking at him like to acknowledge, and that's something busy. And look at me and say hi. I'm like, are you shitting me? Are you really? We're supposed to be on the same team. And remember when they had that big that round table with Ron and Steve Dugan? I go,
when it was outside.
I go, that's not going to turn out good.
And it was outside. Yeah, it was at the fair. I recall. I recorded it.
I go, that's going to turn out real bad. When Steve steps to Ron, watch what happens. And what happened?
Ron said, "You want to go, brother?
You want to go, brother?" He turned into the Macho Man.
The best part is the next time that Ian saw Ron and we were all together, Ian goes, "Ron, you're trying to fight Steve. He's rocking a cane. What the hell's wrong with you, man?" He's like, "He stepped to me, brother." He wasn't happy.
It's Ron's thing, man.
That was his thing, buddy. Yeah. That was his thing. All right, now we're speaking about good people.
Yeah. People
are crushing the Dolphins. And Tua and Mike McDaniel.
Okay.
Did you see the interception that Tua threw from his own end zone? And Mike McDaniel's just walking down the sideline, throwing his arms out, going like this. He's got his hoodie all the way up.
Yeah.
He looks like a teenager that got told he couldn't go to homecoming.
Yeah.
He's acting like a petulant child.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he's still employed by the Dolphins. I really am.
Well, I'm not there, but I don't think you have to be there to know what that locker room is about, because I've been in similar locker rooms. When Sam White was here with Trent Dilfer just before Sam White got fired, it was bad. Like, everybody was just looking at each other. But here's the problem, okay, and here's where the issues will come. Tua knows McDaniel's dead man walking.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer knew Sam White was dead man walking. That makes a really bad aesthetic in the locker room. Okay, because
who's got the power?
The
quarterback's
looking at the coach, like the coach is telling him something. He's looking at him like, "Enjoy yourself. You'll be gone in 2 weeks."
That's
I
right.
actually heard in Trent and Sam's last game, he took Trent out, and Trent said, "Enjoy yourself. I talked to the Glazers, and you were already fired." I heard him say that, and I was like, "Whoa, where am I? Is this a soap opera or an NFL team?" Like, a team like that can't win.
No.
If your head coach and your quarterback can't even speak, they didn't even speak. So I think it's like, because Tua's talking bad about McDaniel. McDaniel's kind of talking bad about Tua. And if they aren't in cahoots, it can't work. It's impossible.
That's the thing. They're not really.
They kind of are, because they see what's being said.
They're not really, but they are in a bitch way.
Well,
because what did we talk about last week with Tua? Mm-hmm. Tua going to the thing, going to the podium after the game, saying guys are late to the meeting. So if you're doing that,
you're talking about the coach, too.
You're calling out the team.
And the coach.
And you're calling out the coach because
100%.
he's the person that's in charge of keeping everything in order.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're letting the world know, hey, that guy is not, his house is not in order.
Sure.
You're running the roost, buddy.
But here's what happens, Jay, and it happens almost every time. What happens now is they've already pooped on themselves. There's no coming out of this, okay? Here's what they're both trying to do. Not make it them. McDaniels, before this is over, he's going to try to make it look like I have a quarterback. And Tua is going to try to make it look like that guy doesn't know what he's doing. But I can still play. But in the meantime, they both look like a horse's ass.
They both don't look good.
That happens all the time. It always happens where, like, it ain't me, it's him. And the other guy, like, it ain't me, it's him. And in the meantime, everybody in that locker room is screwed because that can't work.
How can you be successful like that?
You can't. It's never happened.
In any aspect of life.
It can't happen.
Any business.
It won't work. No way.
And it's kind of ironic, too, because when you think about it, Mike McDaniel saved to his career. Because Brian Flores didn't know if he wanted him. He didn't know if he was the guy. And then here comes...
He was right.
Huh?
Maybe he was right.
Yeah, but they did have a modicum of success the last couple of years, right? Going to the playoffs and an exciting offense. But it's kind of weird that they brought him in. Mike McDaniel was he was behind Tua. He orchestrated the entire offense and form-fitted it to his strengths. Mm-hmm. They got to a certain level, and then they came crashing down. And now Tua and him are at odds, and it's irreparable. There's no way that those guys will ever coexist ever again.
I would never. I might hire him as an offensive coordinator.
He'll probably be good.
Absolutely, not a head coach. He's not a head coach. He's not. Not everybody's a head coach, because some people, they just don't. They're not strong enough to have the room. They're not. He doesn't look that way.
How important is that? All right. So I always said about Dave Canales, right? I always thought, and this is before he ever got a job with the Carolina Panthers. This is when he was still with the Bucs. I go, Dave Canales is going to be a better head coach than he is an offensive coordinator. Because he's a leader. Okay. He's a guy. Baker Mayfield would joke around. And they go, he's an optimist bully. He's just so positive and optimistic. Like, he always cares about everybody. He's a leader. He's there. Like, and I was just like, that has nothing to do with his play calling. That's true. Had his shortcomings. He really did. He told us the last week 18. Well, I don't really know if we know our identity. This is a team that's about to go to the playoffs. You still don't know your identity at week 18? That's kind of ironic.
He's being honest, though.
But you like that. Yeah. You love the transparency. Look, they're 4-3. Carolina's 4-3. People were writing off Bryce Young last year, and they're not looking at him like, oh, it's the play calling. They're looking at it because he's a good leader. So when you see guys, how long does it take? How long does it take, and what are some of the things you're looking for as you're judging whether a guy can be a good head coach? Because it's one thing to be a head coach maybe in other sports at different levels. The NFL is a completely different ball game. I know I'm preaching to the choir there.
Let me say this about being a head coach in the NFL. There's got to be a little luck in it, okay? Because there's some coaches, like Tony Dungy, what he created, that wasn't luck. It wasn't, because he knew what he was trying to do, and he accomplished that. It was a mindset, and he accomplished it, okay? I'm going to bring up Bill Belichick, okay? And I'm not demeaning what Bill Belichick did. But if Tom Brady didn't happen, all right, we would not be talking about Bill Belichick the same. I don't care what anybody says. I don't, okay? Because without Tom Brady, and say you keep Drew Bledsoe in there, they're not doing that, okay? And I know stories of Belichick before he got to New England that my boys played with him, and they're not good stories, okay? They're not good stories. So to be a great head coach, okay, so San Francisco, Walsh, great coach, but my God, how many freaking fantastic players are you going to get, okay? And is that you? Is that the front office? So everything has to be good. You got to get some luck with your quarterback. You got to have a great GM who knows what the hell they're doing.
Roster, yeah.
And you got to have an owner who lets you do what you want to do. There's so many things and so many factors. You can, if you're a head coach and your owner says, I want that quarterback, and that guy's Johnny Manziel, you're fired.
Yeah.
So it's just some luck in this. So Tom Brady, you save lives, okay? We may not be talking about Bruce Arians the same if, Tom Brady didn't come along. It's a timing thing. So
that's the majority.
Funny. It's true.
I look at the coach at OKC, right? Daniel, yeah, he's done a good job, but, he's also got Chet Holmgren and Shea and all these guys. They have all these young guys under 25. They look like they're going to win the championship again. And I guess that's why, for me, it's not hard to see who the best coach is of all time, and that's Scotty Bowman. Like, you don't go to Montreal and St. Louis and Pittsburgh and Detroit. Like, the common denominator was him, right? I mean, and not everybody's afforded that. Not everybody, but he also knew when to get out. He also knew when to leave, and he knew when his 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 message was getting a little bit stale, and that's what I worry about that a little bit with the Tampa Bay Lightning. It doesn't mean that John Cooper's not still a great coach, but I just wonder, like, what is he going to tell Nikita Kucherov right now to get him better? What is he going to tell Braden Point? What is he going to tell Victor Hedman? Like, things change, man, and you don't see that very often, especially in professional sports. College is a little different because sometimes it's a lifer job, but for the pros, man, especially with the young athletes that we're dealing, and I think hockey is different than other sports, but Beck, we don't see guys 14, 15 years coaching that much anymore.
No, and listen, what happens is if a coach is somewhere too long, it's like your parents. Like if your parents tell you something, you just kind of roll your eyes. That's what it becomes.
No.
When Tony Dungy left, you know what I said? It was time for him to leave. I didn't say he wasn't a good coach. I said it's time for him to leave because everybody around him was getting comfortable. People will get comfortable with you. I'm good. He's not going to cut me.
Right.
I'm comfortable. Nah, man. Then you got to go to another place and then reestablish yourself. And obviously did that in Indianapolis. But, once again, there's some coaches that just have it. There's no doubt about it. And I think Tony Dungy, what he does best is just lead men. It's not even about X's and O's. It's about leading men and seeing leaders. Okay? Rod Marinelli is a leader. Lovie Smith is a leader. We could go down the route. Herman Edwards, that whole defensive staff was leaders. And that was the first time that most of those guys coached in the NFL. And he went and found leaders. So he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Mike Tomlin,
leader, still leading. So, you got to have that certain mentality, but it's got to be a little luck in it as well.
I said that today actually on my podcast about Alex Golesh and why they've been so successful at USF. And I said he is the main reason, because obviously you go from
you like them right off rip though,
huh?
You like them off rip.
Yeah, but it's also we got along with Jeff Scott. Remember
I agree.
We did like Jeff Scott because he came from Clemson, Dabo Sweeney, and I remember we were at the Yingling Center, and Jeff Scott told us, he goes, it's not WHO who we play, it's HOW how we play, and he goes, I'm gonna remember you guys supporting us when we get back up to the top. And I was like, oh man, I hope this guy does well.
Right.
And then Alex Golesh comes in, and I just liked that he was a leader. And then I watched the press conference yesterday, his weekly press conference, and he's talking about Jarvis Lee. And he's talking about a kid that he said when he first came to campus, he wouldn't even talk to Coach Alex Golesh. He was so shy. He was mad at the world. Those are the words that Golesh was using. He was mad at the world. Now he's a leader. He's thriving. He's one of the best players. Next time you watch USF, watch out for their corner, Jarvis Lee.
Okay.
He's going to play at the next level. He's just so physical. He's always around the ball. But the way that Coach Golesh lit up when he was talking about the growth of a young man, that's a leader, bro. He's not talking about what he did on the football field. He's talking about a kid that hated the world because of his upbringing, and now he's a leader. He's a captain. He's thriving. Like, to me, that says volumes about his character as a leader of young men rather than him being a football coach. And I feel like there's a common thread with great coaches and that they're great leaders. John Cooper never played in the NHL. How the do you do as well as he's done? He's coaching Team Canada. If I would have told you that a guy, right, that is going to be coaching Team Canada in the Olympics did not play professional hockey at any level, you'd be like, not a chance.
Yeah, but it happens in every sport.
But hockey, it's different in hockey. You know that. How does that happen,
Well,
Beck?
Tortorella never played, did he?
Yeah, but he's not Canada. That's one of the most distinguished jobs in sports. I'm telling you, you know this.
I understand.
You know this.
There's exceptions to everything.
But how does that how do you become the exception?
Who's the best offensive line coach ever?
You tell me.
Alex Gibbs.
Alex Gibbs, okay.
If he walked in here, you'd say, who's that little old dude?
Yeah.
There's no way, if you would put him in a line and say, which guy, if you put a bunch of offensive line coaches in a row, you go, why is the little squirrely guy in there? He's the meanest snake. He's a snake. He was the meanest thing I've ever seen. And he wanted it done his way or the highway. And when I was like, damn, this guy's serious. He's serious about what he's teaching. I've never been around somebody more serious about what he taught, and nobody got better results than Alex Gibbs. Maybe in any league. Everywhere he went, they ran the football. And they ran the stretch, and they ran it well. And it was because of Alex Gibbs. So it's weird. Some people are just teachers. He's a teacher. He probably, if he were in the Army, he would be like the drill sergeant. He'd be the head guy. And listen, I coach myself, and I got my center, Steve. he's fiery. He's a leader. He's a good football player. But a couple times he pops off he's like, come on, and I go, come here, Steve. And there's different ways to to motivate. I say, come here. And I go, boy, when you pop off, the rest of the team is looking at you like, you can't, bro. You gotta be the fucking glue. You can't be tripping. And I think that's important in leadership. Yeah. When everything's going wrong, everybody's gonna look at the leader. And if the leader is tripping, you got no Chad. The leader's gotta be the calm one saying, we got this, let's go.
That's why when people complain about the stoicism of Todd Bowles, well, he's too calm on the sideline.
Whatever.
You're missing the boat, buddy. You're missing the boat.
Listen, I'm a parent, and I know there's a lot of parents. I see them yelling every day, but their kids don't listen. Yeah. I didn't yell. My kids listen, though.
No doubt about
Promise
it.
that.
And you know what happens if you didn't listen in the childhood growing up? You got hit with a chancleta. And my chancleta broke?
Oh, hell no. It's ghetto-ass chancleta.
This is a Volcom. I've had these forever. But if you didn't listen as a kid growing up at my buddy John Rivera's house, you had to walk in the door and duck right away because she didn't know who was walking in the door, and she would just fling the chancleta. Yeah. And
like a boomerang.
The first time we said chancleta on the Ron and Ian show, Ron laughed so hard because he had no idea that I knew what a chancleta was. And then Ian went on to mispronounce the word for the next 15 minutes.
I still do.
He still did.
It's all good. It's good. It's good. It's
a great word. It's entertainment. It's a great word, though.
It is. Chancleta.
It's like that and biblioteca, which means library, are my two favorite Spanish words.
It does. Yes,
there you go. 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Come check us out here at the Dignitary Cafe, the best kava and kratom in town. Ian Beckles Show on Instagram.
Ian Beckles Show on Instagram, and go check me out on YouTube. I got some cool stuff about Buccaneer talk wise, you know.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Aloft and Sally Marr for having us Monday night. That was a good time.
No doubt. I'm starting to stream today too.
Nice.
NCAA football. I'm gonna start streaming.
Really? Watch. Keep your clothes on. Keep your clothes on.
I'm an OnlyFans guy now.
Oh my God! Look at this. He's hiking the shorts off. Watch out. Mandingo Mike over here. Yeah. Ian Beckles Show. Follow me at Recher every Wednesday at 3 o'clock right here. The Beckles and Recher podcast live from the Dignitary Cafe.
Overnight.
Ian joins me on my podcast every Monday at 12:30 talking about the Buccaneers. So we'll be talking hopefully about a win over the New Orleans Saints. They need to win this game. They need to win this game. All right. For Ian, I'm Jay. We'll see you next week. Deuces.
Deuces and chancleta.